I'm very honoured to be asked to congratulate WIPIC at its founding celebration. The idea of WIPIC is a truly inspiring one, and I give my congratulations not only to those individuals who had the idea for the centre, the South Korean government for funding the centre, but also all of the young staff who have what is such an important and onerous task in front of them. All of those in heritage, be they archivists, librarians, museologists, historic building architects, archaeologists, anthropologists, many other specialists, all strive to conserve and preserve the remnants of the tangible and intangible past that has survived in some cases for thousands of years. It is frequently said that we do this for future generations. That is absolutely true and should be applauded. But there is no point in conservation or preservation without interpretation or presentation. Objects do not speak for themselves. Places do not speak for themselves. They are mute and need the help of experts, equally important as those who conserve and preserve, those who interpret and those who present. Interpretation is an art frequently based firmly in science. Often it is the science that gives us, let's say, the 10 pieces of information, the evidence about a place or object around which a full story has to be woven, because interpreters are storytellers, creators of whole worlds from tiny fragments. The great art is crafting a realistic, likely world which can, while continually reminding the visitor or listener that this is our current best guess and that it may be altered, sometimes dramatically, by new evidence found by those specialists who study existing fragments and find new fragments. The presentation of this interpretation, this story, is perhaps getting more difficult by the day. When I used to work in education and interpretation for English heritage 30 years or more ago, our choice for presentation was very limited. Most sites we managed had two-dimensional text panels explaining the site. As time went on, that dense text was replaced by larger and larger artist illustrations of what the place, and crucially the people, may have looked like, may have been. Then came audio tours and films and videos with ever-increasing technological magic to wow the visitor. Soon, AI-led interpretation may well be the norm, a development that those working for WIPIC should be at the forefront of delivering and developing, and perhaps controlling. You will all know of the so-called father of interpretation, Freeman Tilden, and his 6 principles. For me, Tilden's most important principle was that interpretation is provocation. Interpretation should send a family or a group of friends away talking, debating, buzzing, arguing. Without stimulating such engagement, interpretation frequently becomes what Tilden said it categorically wasn't: simply the passing on of information. Such provocation can actually come full circle and help with the understanding of a place or a period. Let me share a brief example of what I mean. In the early 1990s, I was involved in the redisplay of the museum at the World Heritage Site of Avebury in the UK. Avebury is a major Neolithic site dating from about 6,000 years ago. At the first meeting of the team who were to carry out the redisplay, the designers, the presenters, insisted that there must be a full-scale Neolithic man as the first exhibit in the new museum. The archaeologists present were equally adamant that there would be no such figure in the redisplay because they were not going to lose their academic credibility by guessing what such a person might look like, as no clothes from the period in the UK had been found. The result was, as so frequently, a compromise. There was a full-scale man, but we cut him down the middle, depicting 2 possible versions, One, an individual on the edge of survival, unkempt, dirty hair, long, dirty beard, poorly woven clothes, plain, torn, poor shoes that would not keep water out. The other, a proud individual with clear, well-kept hair and beard, tattoos and tribal face scarring, well-made, colourful clothes and waterproof boots. The caption beneath said that the figure represented two possible versions of what people may have looked like, and the only thing we knew for certain was that he was not a cartoon-like prehistoric man dressed in a lion skin with a club, pulling his girlfriend around by the hair. On the day the museum opened, we were worried how the figure might go down. I was going around with a small group from a local school, and as we were in front of the figure, one 12-year-old girl looked at him up and down and said very firmly, "Well, it's obvious. This half are his work clothes, and this half are his Sunday best for important days." Nobody on the redisplay team had ever thought about the idea of Neolithic people having more than one set of clothes. An obvious idea that had not simply crossed our minds, however many degrees sat around that table, provoking the archaeologists, myself included, to think about those we were studying in a different, perhaps more sympathetic way. Interpretation as a full circle. Interpretation and presentation, two of the extremely important words in the name of your centre. But equally important are the words World Heritage and implied in your title, the acronym UNESCO. Two things that also need interpreting and presenting. For World Heritage properties are not, or should not, just be about the past. They are absolutely about the future and the type of world you want to pass on, and therefore about the present. At the end of the Second World War, UNESCO was created to help develop world peace through education, science, and culture. Since war begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defences of peace must be constructed. But very few visitors to World Heritage sites today know about that. Very few visitors know about World Heritage. UNESCO also seems to have forgotten, as there is nothing in the nomination process that asks how this site might contribute to world peace. Surely that must become a part of every property's outstanding universal value. We must surely remind visitors of why UNESCO was created, what World Heritage status really means, what outstanding universal value is, and why this particular place has it. WIPIC has the chance to argue that in all of these sites, they should all become ambassadors for peace and must strive and must send visitors away talking, debating, buzzing, arguing. I wish you all at WIPIC the very best at this celebratory time. Even more, I wish you the very best for your future work that I hope takes World Heritage in interpretation and presentation to a new height, reaching for the aspirational ambitions of those who created UNESCO over 70 years ago. I wish you the very, very best. Thank you.